So what you need to know about hormones and how HRT can affect you. So let's dive into that. Estrogen loss impacts insulin and metabolism. So as estrogen declines, insulin resistance goes up. This leads to more frequent highs and increased insulin needs and doses, right? We're dosing for more or dosing more insulin to stay at the same sort of goal blood sugar. So without that estrogen, your body stores more fat, especially around the belly. I know I experienced this as well before I jumped on board with hormone replacement. So an estrogen replacement can help stabilize this, improving how your body uses insulin. That's the magic word, right? Because we become more efficient again, like we were back in the day, right? Back in our reproductive years. So another point that I want to make here too is the common myths versus the science of hormone replacement. So back in 2002, the Women's Health Initiative, the WHI study, caused a lot of fear about synthetic HRT. But current research on bioidentical hormones, those that match your body's natural ones, shows they are safe and beneficial when used correctly. And again, that is so important to get with a hormone expert, a hormone literate, not illiterate, but literate, a hormone literate doctor that can guide you. And experts like Dr. Felice Gersh, I've learned a lot from her and her books, explain how estrogen supports our metabolism. There we go. Protects your heart and brain, our bone density, and even reduces inflammation. And you know, inflammation is the biggest driver that we have living with diabetes that we need to stay on top of, that we need to stay ahead of. And again, recognizing what things are causing that so that we can back out of it and fix and correct and heal, right? So another point is the type of HRT and your timing. This really matters. So again, the bioidentical forms that the body is used to having, like the patches, the creams, or the capsules in the case of oral progesterone, work differently than the older synthetic versions. So that's really important to know. And when you start HRT with an already stressed, inflamed system, you may not feel relief, or worse, you may be blaming the therapy itself. So again, it's really looking at the whole picture, all the moving parts in your life, and looking closer at really what is maybe impacting the scale and some other things, obviously, that might be affecting that. So the timing of maybe starting on hormone replacement, and then a woman that comes and discovers that, hey, I'm gaining weight. What's this from? Well, it must be from that new thing that I just started, those, the hormones. Well, not necessarily. That's why creating a stronger foundation of habits and consistency gets your body prepared not only for absorption and utilization of these hormones, but long-term, just keeping those long-term goals going steady and strong. And again, refer to your doctor about this and how it will specifically apply to you. Now, and these questions that many women have that I've even just kind of tapped into already is why I created that free guide. So download it here. It's the HRT and T1D, the what, when, and how. And it walks you through how, Dawn? Yes, it walks you through how to prep your body for HRT. So you can actually benefit from it, okay? Because anytime you're going to put money and time and focus on, we want to get a return on it, right? That's just the human mind and the human spirit, absolutely. So this is how, And in that guide, again, I'm going to explain, as I'm fumbling over my words, how HRT supports and not sabotages your weight and your blood sugar. So that is so important. So let's look at the different types. Bioidentical estrogen. I'm just going to do a quick recap just so we understand the different types. this is what estrogen can do for your body. It improves insulin sensitivity. That is the number one thing that us women with diabetes need help with as we're aging, because, we live with enough grief and frustration and, just complete overwhelm that when insulin is harder to navigate and blood sugar is just, it seems like a moving target. And when we compare that with the fact that low estrogen is really one of the biggest causes of that, and we have a way to, to fix that. So bioidentical estrogen improves our insulin sensitivity. It prevents fat gain. Again, it's not causing fat gain. It is preventing it. So this is a very well needed and very well appreciated hormone that the body is going to thrive on. It also supports brain function, our nerves, and cardiovascular health. Now, bioidentical progesterone. So again, these are the 3 different types that we are often prescribed, and this is the second one. It promotes deep restorative sleep. One of the biggest things that I hear, and again, I've experienced, is, we take this at night before bed, and it's just a calming hormone. And it helps to reduce the night sweats, the cortisol, so again, calming. So it's calming that nervous system. And of course, the blood sugar spike. So we can wake up with, with that fasting blood sugar that does kind of go haywire when we are aging, and how all these can work together to keep us more steady and less stressed as we're getting up in the morning. So that cortisol dump in the morning, which does happen, which does generally cause that morning, the dawn phenomenon, that can all be prevented when we can get progesterone on board. And obviously progesterone, and this is kind of in the phase of perimenopause, when maybe when we still have these hormones on board, but progesterone helps to prevent estrogen dominance, because progesterone is the first hormone that we're losing as we're aging. It's starting to go down. I mean, we're losing both, but the ratio of those two that really need to work side by side and to get in together to help us, they can get out of balance. So it is something that definitely reins in those levels when things are starting to slip and slide, right? So the third one is bioidentical testosterone. It helps to build muscle. It boosts our energy, our motivation, and guess what? Our metabolism. Again, if we know that when we have more muscle, that is a metabolically sensitive and active organ in the body, and it needs glucose. It needs energy to maintain and to grow. So that is something that testosterone is going to help us to keep on board, to help support us so that we can keep that metabolism running like a well-oiled machine, right? Another thing testosterone does, it improves blood sugar regulation. Again, all these hormones, when they're optimized, do work together in a nice, it's like a tandem. It's just a just the flow of it, just the way how they work together, which is how nature, created and prepared us to be able to take these in together. And these hormones don't cause weight gain. They prevent the cascade of inflammation, and the insulin resistance and the metabolic slowdown that does come with age. So again, they are going to help support us. They are not going to set us up for failure. And that is something that, again, I have witnessed and experienced myself. So now that you know these important points, here are three proactive. So these are some things that you can put in your toolkit right now. So these are 3 proactive steps that make HRT, hormone replacement, work for you.